Колеги, перепрошуємо за
I beg your pardon, we continue the briefing of with the partial information from ATO area. Today at 11:10, 34 trucks from Russian humanitarian convoy independently on their own went through Izvarine border crossing point, which is under the control of terrorists. They went to Ukraine. At the moment, they are not supported or accompanied with the Red Cross organization. They violate achieved agreements between Russia and Ukraine as to clearing this humanitarian cargo. Reacting to the situation, the Ukrainian side suggested to hold negotiations between the leadership of general staffs of Ukraine and Russian Federation, but Russian side refused. We underline that the responsibility for secure movement of Russian trucks through territory which is not under the control of Ukrainian armed forces, it is Russian Federation bears responsibility. As became known, movement of 90 more trucks started to move to Ukraine, and neither custom officers nor border guards and no representative of Red Cross were allowed to check them, to examine them. Ukraine complied with all its obligations as to readiness and clearing Russian humanitarian cargo together with Red Cross organization. And the Ministry of Foreign Affairs prepares the statement on that about the violation of achieved agreements. We continue our briefing. To improve the quality level of military professionals, President Poroshenko put some corrections into the third wave of mobilization that will allow to rotate military units which are in the ATO area. Very soon there will be three more brigades will come, and two of them are part of armed forces of Ukraine and one from National Guards. Also, President Poroshenko at the meeting in Minsk has an intention to agree on peace because the world is tired of this war. On August 26, together with three representatives of EU, he will go to Minsk to speak about peace. The president told that Ukraine will call to take back militants, gunmen from Ukraine. We are able to stand for sovereignty and territorial integrity. We are fighting for independence of Ukraine. We will win. Underlined the head of the state, Prime Minister of Ukraine, Arsenij Yatsenyuk, had a meeting with the Senator of U.S. Senator William Nelson. The Prime Minister welcomed initiatives of American legislators in the field of military cooperation, and also supported the position of American administration as to the protection of independence and democratic choice of Ukraine and support of the fight of Ukrainian people against terrorists who are guided by Russia. Daniel Friedman, who's coordinator of State Department, he told about consultations with China, Switzerland, Norway, Korea, and Singapore in order to get for them to introduce sanctions against the Russian Federation because of the situation in Ukraine. Vice Speaker of European Parliament Richard Czarnecki suggested to exclude the Russian ruble from international financial system in order to influence on Russian Federation in relations with the situation in Ukraine. Member European Parliament Yeremy Shetina recently returned from Donbass. He told the conflict in the east of Ukraine is not ethnic, and that there is not a civil war as Russian propaganda, Moscow propaganda is trying to tell us. This is the end with the official information. Please, your question.
The questions, please. Ukrainian news, please tell us how many members of the crew were killed when the helicopter was down too. I will inform you why we delayed with this information. There were cases when the terrorists were finding bodies of our pilots who perished, and they wouldn't give them to our side, and that is why the operation was conducted on discovering these bodies, and now the bodies are now on our side. How many killed and wounded people are there? And as to the convoy, it was informed that if they enter Ukraine at the section where there are no Ukrainian military, this will be considered to be the invasion. And the convoy, as to the convoy, and what is the situation in Ilovaisk? As to convoy, we're waiting for the official statement from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. As to those killed, we have 4 killed and 23 wounded during the last 24 hours. As to Ilovaisk, the terrorists are trying to continue counterattacks, but they are all repelled. Our guys are still keeping Ilovaisk. More questions? One plus one. Yesterday, from different sources, there was information that in Lugansk region, the personnel carrier of Pskov division was detained with all the documents. Was anyone from the members of the crew detained? And can you inform how many Russian military are there on the territory of Ukraine? At least some percentage. Do you know this figure? Thank you for the question. Near Lugansk yesterday, there were 2 armored personnel carriers detained. There were documents there, but the crews managed to escape these cars and they disappeared. As to the numbers of Russian, do you mean the military or mercenaries? What data do you have? We do not have any exact data because the general staff of the Russian Federation doesn't report to us about how many units they have sent already. Any other questions? Is there any chance to stop those trucks that cross the border? What are the options? Everything will depend on how the convoy will be moving and where. Also, the repo-face of the International Committee of the Red Cross will also say something. Let's wait for the official reaction. One more. Do you know, have Russians agreed with the Red Cross that the trucks will cross the border without the Red Cross accompanying them? The Russian side started to cross the border. At 4:30, we will have the representative of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Lubkivsky, and the press briefing of Valery Pyatnitsky, Governmental Commissioner for European Integration, will be held in 10 minutes approximately.